to a little tiny segment that I decided to do as part of my New to Wigs series. This is something that I have talked about in more than one video for sure. I've even talked about it, I believe, in this series, but I really wanted to address it all by itself. So that way it's easier to find and hopefully it will get to those of you that are brand new, because this happens almost every time. Okay, I get comments. I have had to send, 3 wigs back because they are just too much. Can you recommend where do you buy your wigs? What kind of wigs do you recommend? Can you recommend a wig that I don't feel like it's wiggy? And sometimes it is true, especially if you have a true petite size head. Almost every wig will make you feel like it's just so much, and that would be the exception. My daughter has a very petite head, and for fun we were having her try on some wigs, and every one of them, it was just like, oh my gosh, because A, she's very petite anyway, but she has a very petite little head, and so they all drowned her. So, I'm going to put a link down below on how to properly measure your head. And it's just a video here on YouTube that you can watch. Jon Renau shows how to measure your head. But what you have to keep in mind, once you do have those measurements, write them down. Every manufacturer has a different chart in, different sizes within those measurements. So this particular video that I want to link below, because it's very good, it's very clear, and they do a great job, is a Jon Renau one. So those sizes, once you look in the chart, are going to align to that brand. So just keep that in mind, that just because you may fit a petite in one brand doesn't mean you will in another brand. And just because you're maybe an average in one brand doesn't mean that you will fit, say, like a Noriko, which is definitely runs on the petite size. So having your measurements handy is really important. So say you find out that you do land in a petite range. Well, then you could be running into that issue. Maybe you are, you've realized that you have been ordering average size wigs. That's probably why, if you really do have a very petite head. There are options for you, because unfortunately not every style comes in petites or petite averages or even large, and that's frustrating. But if you do have a petite head, you can order average wigs. You'll have to learn how to make them smaller and make them fit your head. Sorry, they're doing construction over here. Anyway, so there are ways to do it. It doesn't look hard. I've never done it, but I will put specifically a link down below on how to make a machine wefted wig smaller. Now, if you have a hand-tied wig, 100% hand-tied wig, those are really difficult to make smaller, and I would not recommend it. You may be able to seek out somebody who does that, but I did call, or did I email a wig company and asked about that, and they said they just don't recommend it. But if it's machine wefted, it can be done, absolutely. So that could be an option if you find styles that that aren't offered in petite. But say you really are pretty average wigs seem to fit you, and you still feel overwhelmed. Give it a little time. This is so common. It happened to me. I plopped on my Elizabeth, my very first wig, and felt completely ridiculous. I felt it just absolutely looked and screamed wig to me. It looked unnatural, even though it was 100% hand-tied wig. And still wigs will do that. New styles, I put them on my head almost every time. I'm like, oh no. But you have to give yourself a little time to get used to it. How long has it been since you've seen yourself and looked at your reflection with very fine, thin hair? years and years and years, most likely. So you're used to that. Everyone around you is used to that. So get that wig on, and before you just absolutely make your mind up and send it back, give it a little time. If you like the color pretty well and you do like the shape and the general style, you know, and it seems to not be too small for you, then, because there are little adjusters back there. If it's a little bit too big, you can adjust those straps back there to fit you better. And then, of course, you may even be like me and you have to have additional security options to keep that wig feeling nice and secure on your head. But give yourself a little time. It's like, okay, take it off, but that's okay. Make sure you have your makeup on, and then go back and then put that baby back on. Give yourself a little time. Now, I know that you can't really play with the wigs because if you want to return them, they're pretty strict about that. But you can kind of move it around, kind of do a little bit just to kind of get your eye used to seeing yourself with regular hair, with a regular full head of hair. Most likely that is what's going on, especially if you've tried more than one and you don't have a truly petite size head. That's probably what it is that you're not used to seeing yourself, with hair, quite honestly. So a great suggestion from a subscriber that I had was put the wig on, make sure you have your makeup on and that you look like you're feeling good. And then put your wig on, get it looking pretty good, as good as you can before you've committed to sending it back or keeping it. And then take a picture of yourself, do a selfie, take a picture of yourself at different angles, and then look at that. Look and see what you're seeing in that picture. You may find that it looks fine, that it looks great, It's a little tricky asking friends and family how it looks on you because you know what? They're used to seeing you without any hair either. So they may have to also get used to seeing you with some hair. So don't be disheartened if your feedback from your friends and family are not what you were looking for. It could be that. It could be that they have to also get used to seeing you with hair. So I just wanted to put this out here. Once you feel like, okay, I really like this wig, it's so pretty, I like the color, and I think I could get used to it, then put that wig grip on for no other reason but to keep it on your head while you style it, while you move it, while you break the part out of it, and move it around. Put it over on the other side if it's one of those styles, you can do that. Play with it. Make it your own, because most every wig that just comes out of the box, I am never happy with until I can get in there and really make it my own. It's a style, and if it's the synthetic fibers, even the HD fibers, they have some memory in there and the style is in there. Absolutely. That's the great thing about synthetic wigs. They have a little memory. The style is there, and every time you wash it, it's going to come back. But that doesn't mean that you can't get some product in there and style it and really get it to feel like you. And then you'll start feeling more comfortable in that hair because, not ever having a wig on your head, getting it fresh out of the box, and putting it on is hard for an experienced wig wearer. That they're most likely also not going to feel great in it. So that is my tip for new wig wearers. Also, once you decided that, yeah, I'm going to give this a go, the first thing that you're going to want to do when you've decided that you've got that wig, is you're going to hold it by the nape. This is a short wig, but it doesn't really matter. You're going to hold it by the nape. This is, a really secure way to hold your wig. And you are going to really do this before you even put it on. You're going to get the fibers off the cap and, just as Patty would say, shake the tar out of it. That's what you want to do. That way these fibers are breaking up. That's been in the box for God knows how long. So you want to get that memory back in there without it being box hair, So that helps to get those fibers off the cap. It's going to help to get that memory back in there and look more realistic the first time that you put it on your head, once you've decided you want to keep this baby. So that's what I suggest. Don't give up. Don't give up. There are some wigs that have a lot of hair. There are, And so the next question I'll ask is, well, tell me the wigs that you've bought and sent back. That'll give me a clue, Your first wig, I don't recommend a wig with a ton of permatease. Now, I say that. Of course, I didn't like this wig when I first got it. It was the first time that I ever wore a short wig, and it took me a long time. If you remember, if you've been kind of following me and going from the very first wig chat with Ignite to a follow-up with Ignite, it took me a long time to really like this wig, and now it's my favorite. And there's a lot of permatease in Ignite, and the other surprising thing is there's no mono part of any kind. But it has this amazing Jon Renau lace front. That's the lifesaver for me. It also has a beautifully comfortable cap. It has moleskin on the ear tabs. It has an extended nape with moleskin. So all of those other things really make this one a win for me. So in general, though, I would stay away from a lot of permatease for your first wig, because permatease, although it's great and it keeps your style looking good, that's what I love about my Ignite. But still, if you're not used to that, I would recommend having a wig that is really going to stay to the plane of your head as much as possible. Not flat to your head, because that looks wiggy. But if you can go for a 100% hand-tied wig, that would be my choice for all of you, for those of you that are pondering getting a first wig, because it's going to give you a very, very as close to feeling like your own hair as any other wig cap can, the 100% hand tied. So now this is 100% hand tied. This is Rachel. This wig, I feel like it has just a ton of hair. I've really fought with this wig, and I'm still trying to learn to embrace this wig. It's just so gorgeous. I will not get rid of it, because I'm just going to make it work, because it is a gorgeous, gorgeous wig. But this is an example of one that overwhelmed me, and it was not my first wig. I've had many wigs prior to this wig. So there you go. You just never know what that first wig's which one is gonna make you feel like, I can do this. You will get there, you will find that one, but you have to do your work. It's not gonna be something that is just gonna happen when you put it on. So I just want to say it takes a little bit of getting used to. It's going to take, I recommend getting in there and playing with it. Once you decided to keep it, get some product, order some product, get some product, and then make that wig your own. Style it like you would your own hair. And if you're not one to want to style your hair, then, a lot of people love wigs for that reason too. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this series has become and is helpful for those of you that are brand new or thinking about jumping into the wig pond. Okay, guys, until next time, stay in my heart. Bye-bye.